They say curiosity killed the cat, but nobody ever mentions what it does to archaeologists with a taste for the impossible. Curiosity doesn't kill us outright. It erodes us slowly. Sleepless nights, ink-stained fingers, the quiet humiliation of being wrong in footnotes no one reads. Dr. Nadine Hassan had lived with that erosion for 15 years. She had chased dead civilizations across deserts and archives, memorizing what was lost, reconstructing what had been broken, always aware that history never loved you back. So when ground-penetrating radar lit up beneath a pizza joint in Alexandria, she didn't feel fear. She felt relief. "Remind me again," Omar said, crouched beside a mess of cables and coffee cups, "why we're digging under a place that sells pineapple as a topping." Nadine didn't look up from her tablet. The screen glowed softly, a grid of impossible geometry beneath 12 meters of concrete and grease traps, because the radar showed anomalous structures. Omar exhaled through his nose. Anomalous is archaeology speak for this will either make us famous or unemployed. "Correct," she said, and also because the rent was cheap. The tunnel smelled like damp earth and old secrets. Nadine had learned long ago that ancient places had a scent: stone dust, mineral cold, time itself settling into your lungs. When the drill finally broke through into open space, the air changed. It wasn't stale, it was clean, preserved. Her headlamp swept across walls that caught the light instead of absorbing it. Smooth, translucent, wrong. Her breath caught painfully in her chest. "That's not possible." Omar stepped closer. "Holy, Nadine, that's glass." She reached out, fingers trembling despite years of discipline. Glass manufacturing like this wasn't developed until... She stopped because her mind refused to finish the sentence. Until never. The surface was cool, seamless, without tool marks, not Roman, not Hellenistic, not anything that belonged in the known world. Omar laughed nervously, which, in your experience, makes it irresistible. She should have stepped back. She knew that. Every cautionary tale, every disaster report, every slasher movie screamed at her to pause, document, wait for backup. Instead, curiosity leaned forward inside her like a living thing. She touched the wall. Light folded. The sensation wasn't falling. It was compression, like being pressed through a keyhole made of time. Nadine heard her own voice distantly, absurdly calm. "If I don't make it back, publish my research and take care of my cat." Stucker. Then the world ended and restarted. Stone slammed into her shoulder. Cold bit through her clothes. Incense burned her nose. "Oh no," she whispered. "This isn't good." "Hi," someone said. Nadine lifted her head. The throne room rose around her like a judgment. Columns carved with stories older than her alphabet soared upward. Gold caught fire in torchlight. The air vibrated with authority, with ritual, with thousands of eyes trained on one small, disheveled woman who absolutely did not belong. And then she saw her, Cleopatra. Not a marble statue, not a textbook illustration. A living woman, dark eyes sharp with intelligence, posture effortless, presence overwhelming. This wasn't beauty designed to please. This was power made flesh. Get it together, Nadine told herself, heart pounding so hard it hurt. You've lectured about her for years. She stepped forward, bowing too deeply, too awkwardly. Your Majesty, I am Dr. Nadine. I come from distant lands with knowledge that may serve Egypt. Cleopatra studied her in silence. Nadine felt peeled open, dissected. Doctor, Cleopatra said finally, that is not a title I know. You speak like a scholar, yet with the cadence of someone born far from here. Nadine swallowed. I come from a place where Egypt's glory is studied and remembered. Your name is spoken with reverence in lands you have never heard of. Something shifted. Cleopatra leaned forward, intrigued. Most who seek my audience flatter my present power, she said. You speak of my legacy. Nadine met her gaze, terrified and exhilarated. Because it endures. Cleopatra smiled slowly. Either you are a prophet, a madwoman, or something far more interesting. I've been accused of all three, Nadine said honestly. I like honesty, Cleopatra replied. It is rare in my court. Time blurred. Nadine became something impossible, a consultant to the most powerful woman in the ancient world. She spoke carefully, always aware that one wrong phrase could rewrite history or end her life. When the Nile failed, she felt Cleopatra's fear like a pressure change in the air. Cleopatra walked among her people, listening, watching. Nadine followed, heart aching at the familiar patterns: scarcity, desperation, blame. The Divine Mother is angry, the elders whispered. Cleopatra stood in the marketplace and said, Then we will not fail her or each other. When merchants tried to profit from hunger, Cleopatra opened the granaries. What use is gold, she asked calmly, if your kingdom starves? At night, Nadine wandered the great library, hands shaking as she traced scrolls she had only known as ashes. She wanted to cry, she wanted to scream, she wanted to stay forever. Monuments crumble, Cleopatra said beside her. Ideas endure. She's everything they said, Nadine thought, and more. When Caesar arrived, history tightened like a drawn bow. Cleopatra's entrance unfolded exactly as Nadine had taught students for years, except now she was watching it from the shadows, pulse racing. Legends, Cleopatra murmured to her beforehand, are just successful risks. Nadine knew the danger before the whispers reached her ears. Poison, ceremony, betrayal. We don't stop the plot, Nadine said softly. We expose it. The crowd roared when Cleopatra survived, history locked into place. Later, in private, Cleopatra revealed the truth. I suspected you from the first, she said gently. Your knowledge, your confidence, that glass slab you stare into. Nadine laughed weakly. I never thought of that. You may return, Cleopatra said, or you may stay. Nadine hesitated, heart breaking in slow motion. If I stay, she whispered, I could change everything. Cleopatra smiled, warm and sad. Perhaps some things are meant to be changed, or perhaps you were meant to witness them. Nadine felt the pull of the relic awaken. I believe, she said, voice thick, that Cleopatra will be remembered as long as humans tell stories. She hesitated. Can we get a quick selfie? Cleopatra raised an eyebrow. A selfie? Just 2 fingers. Smile. Light folded again. Back in the tunnel, Omar screamed her name. Nadine lay on cold concrete, laughing and crying at once. History, she realized, wasn't something to be rewritten. It was something to be understood deeply enough to change the future without erasing it.